Um, so look, I don't know. I've met a couple of yous, particularly the boys from Kelleher's. But I'm Joe McKee. I'm the rep for Project EV in Ireland. So look, obviously, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here. I know you've all got busy schedules, although nobody wants to be outside in the rain on a day like that fitting a charger. So, but you'll all have your point of contact in Kelleher's who you're dealing with. But if you need anything from me going forward, they can pass my details on, and I'll do whatever I can to help you in any way I can. I'm going to pass you over to Mitch in a second. He's our lead engineer for the UK and Ireland. He's going to just do a brief run through who we are as a company, the product range, and then some technical info like load balancing and commission and all that kind of stuff. And then you can just fire away with a whole series, whatever questions you want. We'll try our best to answer them for you. All right. So I'll just pass you over to Mitch.
Okay, thanks guys. So yeah, like Joe just said, my name's Mitch. I am the lead engineer for the UK and Ireland. So I have a team of engineers that all go around supporting you guys and everybody in the UK as well with any issues that they've got, any bits and bobs that we need to go through. We'll go through, but we've got this short slideshow to go through now. So I will just maximize that and start going through this slideshow now, and then any questions that we've got, feel free to jump in and ask any questions if there's anything that we've got when I'm presenting, and if not, we can wait till the end and go through some questions. So cracking on with it. So just a little bit about us before we start. So we are actually under the band of a company called Project Better Energy. So that's the company I'm employed by, and we work under 3 different companies. So we've got Project Solar, who are they were the kind of
Sorry, if you want to share, do you want to share that because I can't see it up on the screen.
You can't see that screen.
No, it's quite small unless anyone else can. So do you want to just try and make sure it's in presenter mode for that?
Oh, it should be in presenter mode. I've got that.
Looks fine to me.
Can you all see it? Okay. Sorry, I'm in a different screen. There you go. All right.
Yeah, looks okay here.
Okay, apologies. There you go.
Yeah, everybody can see. Okay, brilliant. Fantastic. So yeah, Project Solar was the first company of us that was made in 2011, and then we come with Project EV, which is us, and Project Curve. So Project Curve does all your kind of infrared heaters, hot water cylinders, heat pumps, bits and bobs like that. But we're focusing on Project EV today. That's what we're here for. So yeah, so just a couple of the companies that we work with, just to see kind of the scale of things. We've got work with Jet2, Newcastle United Football Club, the NHS. Big Motoring World is part of our business as well. And we do work with kind of Nottingham City Council. We've just done an install a couple of years ago for Nottingham City Council where they've moved all of their bin lorries over to electric. So they're completely going carbon free and changing the ways in that way. And we're starting to see a few more inquiries from councils coming through as well now. So that's more of a commercial platform that we're doing. There is a little picture here, I think it goes further on in the slideshow as well, the case study where we've just installed 3 480 kilowatt chargers in a service station in Blackpool. She went to commission 2 more of them in Northampton the other day. So we'll get through the product as we go through it, but we do go from a range of kind of 7 kilowatt chargers all the way up to like a megawatt that we do. So just a little graphic here on the difference between AC and DC. I won't bore you with too much of this because I'm sure you guys all know the difference. So we've got AC chargers are classed as fast chargers. So that's anything from 4 to 12 hours to charge your car. Normally, predominantly would see these kind of chargers on your domestic houses. We do see them on some offices, various bits and bobs, public charging. It's more for if you're, for instance, working in an office block and you're going to be there for 8 hours, you can plug your car into an AC charger and you're going to get a good juice by the time you leave. And then we do also our rapid DC chargers, so anything from 30 minutes to 4 hours for these rapid DC chargers. So this is kind of your bigger stuff that's going to bypass that inverter in the car and just pump kilowatts straight into the car rather than trickle charging as such. So we do our DC range goes from anywhere from 20 kilowatts DC up to the megawatt charger that we've got. Okay. So this next page is just going through some of our products that we provide. So we have, can everybody see my cursor as well that I'm pointing at?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see my cursor. That's fantastic. So here we've got the Apex 7.3 and 22 untethered. So we do. This is obviously what we was kind of going over to Ireland the other week, and a few people were lucky enough to win one. So we've got the untethered and tethered version of this. I know when from our work in Ireland, we was finding that a lot of people were predominantly going for tethered units, so we do them in both. We've got tethered and untethered, and the 7.3 kilowatt and 22 kilowatt is exactly the same size. Okay, so it's different power, but the same size physically. If you are to put those on a wall next to each other, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between what is 7 and what is 22. There's no physical difference with them. We also offer a pedestal on them as well, so yeah, you wouldn't have this on your house. I've never seen it on anybody's house before, but you know, in terms of office blocks, it can be, you know, put on there. So if there's no wall available to put it on, it can be put on these pedestals, and that comes with pretty much any of our chargers. We can have them either wall mounted or pedestaled. So then going up further, then we've got our 7.3 and 22 kilowatt joule. These are the ones on the pedestal that are in stock at the moment, I believe. Is that correct, Joe?
Yeah, I believe Kelleher's brought in stock of both those, the 22
Both,
and
yeah. So we've got in stock.
one.
Kelleher's have got stock of the 22 and the 7 in wall mount and floor mount. So this is our wall mount version here. So we can attach this to a wall, but we can also hook on a pedestal to it, or we have it here where we've got it as one whole complete unit. So again, 7.3 kilowatt and 22 kilowatt for these dual unit. It's not splitting down, so we're going to get 7 kilowatts on this side and 7 kilowatts on this side when we plug into it. So it's essentially like a 14 kilowatt charger. It's not a 14 kilowatt charger, it's a 7 kilowatt charger, but you get what I mean. It can pump out. It's like 2 chargers in one casing, if you get what I mean. And then we go up a little bit further, so we've then got our DC range, where we've got our 20 kilowatt again on a wall. We can wall mount this charger, 20 kilowatt DC. This is tethered, always comes as tethered. Anything that's DC is all tethered. We can also put this on a floor mount as well. Same goes for the 40. So the 40 kilowatt charger, again, tethered. We can do this as a single or a dual, so we can have 2 guns or 1 gun. And again, same results go even further with the floor mount. And then just moving on, just a couple more to go. We've got our 80 to 200 kilowatt charger. Now this is selling really well over in the UK at the moment, and the reason being is because if it's cabled for a 200 kilowatt charger, we can have it as pretty much anything we want in increments. So this charger will come as an 80 kilowatt charger, but we can add modules into it, 40 kilowatt modules at a time. So for instance, if we cable it as a 200 kilowatt charger and we've got 80 kilowatts being given, we can slide in a module in this front door and we can upgrade it to 120 kilowatt. If in a year and a half to 2 years time, the owner of this charger says that's not enough, I want some more, you can put another 40 kilowatt module in there, make it a 160 kilowatt charger. And then again, one more module can go in there and we can make that up to 200 kilowatts. So we can start off at 80 and keep increasing it as the needs for the business grow or anything like that. And then we go on to our 240 to 480 kilowatt charger. Pretty much the same principle as the modular, just on a bigger scale. So 480 kilowatt, likely to see these. Well, so far they're a brand new product, so I've only seen 5 in my time at Project EV, and 2 of them were just this week as well. So looking to see these really on service stations. That's the only kind of place I've seen these at the moment. Okay, any questions for everybody on the range, or should we crack on? Nope. Okay, fine. So then we've got our split power output hyperspeed DC chargers. So we've got 300 kilowatt, 360 kilowatt liquid cooled charging systems. These come as a cabinet, and then we can take terminals out of the cabinet to kind of create more. So this one here in the middle, we've got 360 kilowatt fan cooling charge system, 3 terminals we can put onto that cabinet. So we can have 6 guns coming from that and split it down. And we go all the way up as far as 1 megawatt with these cabinet systems. Again, this is a brand new product that we haven't really seen a lot of at the moment. We have installed one in Islington in London. which is working very well from what I hear. I haven't had any problems with it so far, which is great. But yeah, fantastic. Okay, so the Project EV AC range. So I don't know whether you're aware or whether you are or whether you're not, but we give a 5-year warranty, which is beating the industry standard of 3 years. So 5-year warranty with us. Everything on our AC side is pro earth. There's no spike required. So the chargers do not need additional earth and spike protection. It comes with it already built into the charger. DC is a little bit different. We do need to have some form of Matty box or a spike. Cable lock systems, so the ability to lock untethered cables to charge point vehicles, therefore creating a tethered unit ensuring full protection. So just for instance, I've got my 7 kilowatt charger on my house and I've left my lead in there and I've gone on holiday for a week and I'm just about to get on the airport and I've just realised I've left my lead in there. To stop the risk of that being stolen or anything like that, I can just nip onto my app and lock the cable into the charger to avoid that. So we are creating essentially our untethered chargers to be tethered. We do also sell them as tethered as well, as I've discussed. So every charger that we do has a free mobile app. So the AC range comes smart ready compatible with our free mobile app to control charges. So we'll go through the app a little bit further on. There's a couple of apps that we do. We do a paid for subscription app and we do a free app as well. So we'll go through them a little bit later. So just looking and taking a deeper dive into the Apex only at the moment. So this is our 7.3 Apex and it comes with a Type 2 socket, which is the leading kind of standard now for any EV vehicle. Not seeing many CHAdeMOs about at the minute. We do offer some CHAdeMO support for some of our chargers, but not on this one. It is just Type 2. Pro Earth is absolutely fine, and it is RFID controlled as well. So each one of our Apexes has got that RFID tag that we can use. So Apex free mobile app, and it is connected via Bluetooth, which makes for seamless setting up for the customer or for you guys as an installer. I won't lie, we have had some previous products where they've been an absolute bit of a nightmare to set up previously years and years ago when we first kind of started, but these are just dead easy. So it's as simple as having a QR code on the side of the charger. We download the Apex app and we scan the side of it. It will connect to it via Bluetooth and we can input all of our kind of Wi-Fi details, remove any regulations, put it into whatever method of control that we wish, all from the app straight away, which makes it really, really easy.
Mitch, can I ask a question there?
Of course you can, absolutely.
So just the Pro Earth that's essentially pen fault detection.
Correct, yes.
Because that would be actually common enough on domestic chargers, but not common here on 22 kilowatt AC chargers from anything we've sold in the past. So that's interesting that you don't actually need an ERC rod for. You
don't know, no.
Up to anything AC.
Yeah, anything AC that we do, you do not need an earth rod. So it used to be that some of our older products didn't have the pen protection in there, so we used to have to fit either a Matty box or an earth rod. But all of the newer stuff now and everything that's been sold to Kelleher's it's all the new stuff with the pen protection in there, so it doesn't need an earth rod or a Matty box. So absolutely advantageous for anybody that's buying it. It's one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. One less thing to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, optional extras on the bottom there. We've got our floor stands that go with these. We've got our protection posts. We've got ground mounts should they need to be put on there, and we do also signage as well. Now I'm going to click the slide over to the next slide, and it's going to look exactly the same, but the only thing that's going to change is here because it is exactly the same. So 22 kilowatt, everything's the same. Just to go through the 4 different products as well, which is the same for the last slide. So we've got the Apex 22S, we've got the Apex 22S 4G. Okay, so one's a Wi-Fi unit, one's a 4G unit. We then have the same Apex 22S T, which is tethered, and we've got Apex 22S T 4G. Okay, so 4 different types depending on what the customer needs. So if the customer needs a 22 kilowatt charger which is tethered and on 4G, we're going to go for this one. If they need one on Wi-Fi that's not tethered, we're going to go for this one. So different ways of doing it to have 4G or not to have 4G. Okay. And then this is kind of going on to the range now that Kelleher's actually do have in stock at the moment. So this is readily available. On our 22 range, we've got these two slides here. So these are kind of the exact same charger, but just in a different format. So this one is the wall-mounted charger. This one is again compatible with the Project DB free app, RFID cards, and Project DB Pro app. Now we will go on to Pro app a little bit later. I don't think Pro app is actually currently at the moment available in Ireland. However, it is compatible. So there will be a stage, I believe, where if we get enough kind of scope from our products, that Pro app will become something in Ireland. So again, floor stands, protection posts, ground mounts, and signage all available with these chargers as well, and they're exactly the same as this charger, which is the floor stand, which doesn't go on a wall. Okay. Then moving on to the DC range. So DC range works exactly the same with the warranty. We've got 5 years warranty or 30,000 hours. So depending on what comes first, which is a market leading 5-year warranty as well, because I think other companies are still offering 3-year warranty. These are IP54 protected because of the vents and because of the fans that are going in there. They have got some open ends, but IP54 is a protection, and it doesn't do what the AC range does. So like I was explaining, just on the AC range, where we've got a 22 kilowatt dual will give 22 kilowatts either side. These will split the power down. So if we've got a 40 kilowatt charger and I go and charge my car on it, I'm going to be pumping 40 kilowatts into my car. If Joe then turns up in his car and grabs the other gun and puts it in, it's going to split us both down, and we're both going to share the power, and we'll have 20 kilowatts each. So on the DC, it splits it down. On the AC, it doesn't. Okay.
Just a quick question there, Mitch, as well.
Yeah, of course.
So just 2 slides back on the 22 kilowatt ACs, it's one supply rather than,
correct.
So 2 sockets, but one single supply.
2 sockets, one single supply. Yes, I do apologise. Should have explained that. So yeah, one supply goes into these. So we need to cable it for essentially 63 amps supply for these.
And RCBOs internally.
Internally, yeah. So there's 2 RCBOs internally which control A side and B side. There's basically inside this, there's 2 of everything. So there's 2 sockets, 2 RCBOs. There is only 1 PCB board, but there's the PCB board's kind of split down 2 ways. So it's got 2 of everything on that PCB board, which controls A and B. And we only have the one supply that brings it into it.
And just on the DC range, which starting to pick up a bit of momentum here in Ireland, but
yeah,
and it's not really clear here yet. But in the UK, for example, do people have to notify the DNO, or ESB networks, for example, here? Don't look for any notification, but do they look for notification in the UK to the DNO if you're installing, for example, a 50 kilowatt DC charger or higher?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as a company, we sell the product and we support the product, but we don't actually install the product. That's down to the installers to install it. So we kind of don't get involved in any of that. But just from talking from other installers that have done it in the past, yes, they do inform the DNO. There's a bit of paperwork they have to fill out. I can't give you the exact of what the paperwork is. I can't remember what it is, but I can definitely find that out if needs.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if they require it here yet, but I know it's something that probably will come.
Yeah, I know it's definitely. I mean, they're supposed to do that on 7 kilowatts on houses in the UK.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it, a lot of people don't. But they are supposed to notify that they're putting on an EV charger, even on the 7 kilowatts. So you can imagine what the paperwork would be like for anything bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 20SP then, so this is our 20 kilowatt DC. This is kind of the middle ground. It's price wise, it's quite good because it's not as expensive as the other DC chargers, but it's a bit more expensive than the AC chargers. It's kind of like your middle ground, like I said. So tethered charging, rapid charging, European standards, and commercial charging. So we've got one on our office outside